Previously on Blood Angels Commander. For a few weeks now that the Combat Patrol is a captain and 10 Assault Intercessors and Sangre Guard. Welcome back, guys, and I told you last night exactly what was in this Combat Patrol. It is indeed the new captain, 2 squads of 3-man Sangre Guard, and 10 Assault Intercessors. I know, guys, it's been so difficult to get your hands on those Assault Intercessors. Well, fear not, because you're going to get 10 more in the Combat Patrol box, and that is what every Blood Angels player has been yearning after. Okay, let's get into this article about the Combat Patrol. I'll give you my 2 cents for whatever they are worth. So the new Combat Patrol is so vicious, even your Sangre Guard end up bright red, whatever that is supposed to mean. The wrathful sons of Sanguinius are soaring into action with a brand new Codex supplement and a frothing mad army set packed with furious Death Company Marines, and that is coming out for pre-order this Saturday. Like their fellow book, Codex Supplement Blood Angels features new rules for a brand new Combat Patrol. You won't have to wait long before we welcome the Sanguinary Spearhead to your Carmine host. So, 2 squads of 3 Sangre Guard, 10 Assault Intercessors, led by a captain. So we kind of are familiar with most of that after what we saw last night, and I've got some really interesting details to share with you, thanks to some of our friends over on Reddit who have already done a ton of the math on the new swords and spears, and kind of before we even get started, I'll be able to tell you just exactly what you're looking for in terms of how you want to build these new Sangre Guard when they do come out. So, the Combat Patrol, or the Sanguinary Spearhead, contains 70 miniatures that form an extremely aggressive force designed to quickly close the gap and tear through the opponents that foolishly stand in opposition to the Blood Angels. So there is no real range firepower in this list whatsoever, except a few bolt pistols, a single plasma pistol from what I can see, a couple of infernal pistols. It's all going to be chain swords and incarnate swords, or maybe some spears. So leading the charge is the Blood Angels captain, wearing his finely wrought artificer armor with its unique chiseled musculature, who is happiest when ensconced firmly within a unit of 10 Assault Intercessors. Their thirst for vengeance sends them charging across the battlefield to savage enemies with their chainswords, but they'll have their work cut out for them keeping up with the 2 units of Sangre Guard. Looking at this, I actually think it would have been better if it had been 5 Assault Intercessors plus the captain plus an impulsor. It's basically the same points, 5 points more. The Assault Intercessor captain combo is really good, and having an extra unit in Combat Patrol would have actually been really nice. But I guess 10, and I think it would have been maybe more people would have wanted to buy it, because impulsors are going to be very strong for Blood Angels in the near future, but I do think lots and lots and lots of people have plenty of Assault Intercessors. So probably for me, it's probably not going to buy it, but just because I got too many Assault Intercessors now. So the golden bolts from the blue crash into combat on roaring jump pads, and Carmite blades swinging as they effortlessly cut through the sternest adversaries. 2 Blood Angels upgrades for frames also give you the chance to accessorize your miniatures by adding sculpted shoulder pads, character iconography, and the unmistakable Blood Angels hallmark. Luscious blown locks to your Assault Intercessors. So we've kind of already seen this upgrade sprue. You're going to get some of it in the Death Company box. I would say it's kind of an average upgrade sprue. Unfortunately, it's a bit weird it comes with the Death Company box, because there is not a single Death Company shoulder pad in that upgrade sprue, and you can see some of them here. These sort of Sangre Guard ones with the wings and the purity seals on them, they're kind of standard, I guess, these new upgrade sprues. As you might expect from Combat Patrol, you guys are entirely equipped for close combat. The Spearhead is packed with rules that let you surge across the battlefield. The Blood Angels are Space Marines to the core, so you still have both of the moment, so you still get to pick one unit every turn to get full rerolls to hit against. That was in the previous Combat Patrol, but now we hone in on their close combat prowess, and obviously they're going to have different secondaries and stratagems. And I don't play a lot of Combat Patrol. I never actually got the Combat Patrol in 9th edition, but I think I'll play this new Combat Patrol on the channel at least a couple of times. I know there's been a bunch of new viewers or new members to the channel over the last month. I guess lots of new people getting into Blood Angels. So I will do Combat Patrol. I actually spoke to Kev today. We will be doing some of the new boarding actions when that book gets delivered in a few weeks' time. So there'll be a lot of new content coming on the channel. Right. The Red Thirst is the close companion of the Blood Angels army since the day of Warhammer but it returns here to give your captain and his poor earthbound berserkers some extra pep in their in their step when bullets start to fly your way. So better yet, the natural durability of Space Marines means you won't even take too many casualties as you approach. Natural durability of Space Marines, I don't know who wrote this. Toughness 4, 3-up save is not what it once used to be. So basically, in your opponent's shooting phase, each time they shoot an enemy unit, if your bearer was hit by any of those attacks, important to note that it doesn't say wounded, it says hit. So the second you are hit by an enemy in combat patrol, you'll be able to make a red thirst move. If it does, you can move up to 6 inches, and you can finish the move as close as possible to the enemy, the closest enemy unit. So basically, if anyone shoots you, you're potentially getting closer. When doing so, these models can be moved with an engagement range of an enemy unit. I don't actually know if you get the charge bonus if you do that, because I would need to someone in the comments clarify that for me. Do you count as charging if you get to move like this into engagement range with an enemy unit? A unit cannot make a red thirst move while it is battle shot or in engagement range of another unit, and it can only make one red thirst move per turn. So basically, you're able to get across the battlefield a bit quicker with those assault intercessors, and they're probably going to need it, right? If 2 wounds and a 3-up save isn't enough to keep battles chosen in one piece, you can always fire off the refuse to bend stratagem and trust in the legendary determination instead. It's especially good in the early stages of the game when you need to get close to your opponent, as any unit outside 12 inches will get double the benefits. So they basically get a feel no pain of 5-up in the shooting phase or the fight phase if they're out with 12 inches of an enemy unit. If you're within 12 inches of an enemy unit, then you get a 6-up feel no pain. But I guess a 1 CP strat to get a feel no pain, especially on those new durable Sangre Guard, I think is pretty decent. Obviously, we don't know if this will carry over to the 40k rules, but this wouldn't be the worst stratagem in the world. If, because what will happen with the Sangre Guard is they'll charge in, they'll fight something, they'll kill something, and then they'll be usually left in the open on an objective. They're not able to consolidate into cover and stuff like they were in previous editions. So a stratagem like this might actually be very good, right? Because you just be able to, you're going to take firepower once you've killed that enemy unit while you're standing in the open, and if you hold the objective you're standing on, it's worth points. So it could be 1 CP for a 5-up feel no pain. This would actually be very good on those new 3-wound Sangre Guard, because I guess if they hit you with like 2 damage weapons and you fail both saves, a couple of 5-ups, and all of a sudden they didn't even kill one guy. So this is a good stratagem for 1 CP. We'll have to see if it translates over to 40k. So this combat patrol is sure to put the fear of Emperor into its opponents, but watch out for any telltale signs of the Black Rage. So yes, on Saturday we are getting the new FOMO box, and I have a little bit more to talk about with that as well. But the 2 things that they showed for the combat patrol are interesting, right? So it's like your assault intercessor unit is going to be able to move across the battlefield a bit quicker. They are going to typically be running or advancing to try and get across the battlefield. And then your Sangre Guard are going to be pretty durable, and this gives you an option to make them even more durable. So before we talk about the FOMO box, let me jump into some of the maths that's been run already for the Sangre Guard and let me know, or let me tell you, just how good their swords and their spears are after we found out a bit more information about them last night. So if you're not a big user of Reddit, then, I mean, I'm here to give you information from Reddit, but this was done by a guy named Martin Hatch, who is actually an Ultramarines player. So we've got the Ultramarines to thank. So no more talking about Gabriel Seth turning us all into Ultramarines, because this guy, Martin, said I could use his post, and it saves me a ton of time and lets us know straight away what we should be thinking about. Right, so basically, he quickly broke down the new swords and spear options for Sangre Guard, right? Both weapons hit on a 3-up, both have strength 6, both have damage 2. The swords have 1 more attack and 1 more AP. The spears get lance and +1 to wound per charging, right? So given Sangre Guard apparently have a natural fallback and charge ability, we can assume they would always be using your lance unless something goes horribly wrong. So the maths he's done include the bonus from lance. So from my perspective, there are really 3 interesting scenarios here, though option 2 is extremely niche, right? So you're charging T5 and below infantry, you're charging T6 elite infantry, you're charging T7 and plus walkers and vehicles, right? So I think the interesting thing to say about this, though, is he hasn't added any additional strength from the Red Thirst. So basically, if Red Thirst still gives us 2 strength, then just move all these numbers up by 2. If the Red Thirst just gives us 1 strength, and it might be different per detachment, we're not entirely sure yet, move them up by 1. Or maybe there's no strength bonus if you're running Gladius, and you just use the numbers that are here, right? So how does that shake out? So he's assuming you're always going to use a squad full squad of 6. You're assuming that the spears will always get the lance bonus, so they always get the +1 to wound, and you're going to assume all the dice rolls are statistically average. Right, so against the toughness 5 infantry, so that would be like Terminators and stuff, you would take your 24 attacks on 3 up, which would give you 16 hits, which would result in 10 wounds. The spears would give you the exact same 10 wounds, because you get less attacks. +1 to wound does help, but you get significantly less attacks, 6 less attacks actually. So the swords win. Same number of wounds, better AP. Against something like Gravis, Volgrins, Tyrant Guard, again, swords 24 attacks against spears 18 attacks. They both end up with 8 wounds again. So again, the swords win. And then against toughness 7 vehicles or walkers, the swords 16 attacks, coming down to only 5 wounds because you wound on a 5+. Against the spears, again, because of the less attacks, you get 6 wounds. So spears get 1 more wound, but swords get the better AP. So I guess, like, here's the thing. If you're fighting an enemy, I don't know, a Land Raider is always a problematic target for me to kill in melee. I really struggle to kill things like Land Raiders, anything that's toughness 12 with a good save. So if what's the Votan thing? The Land Fortress, right? They're super difficult for Blood Angels to kill. Like a whole squad of Death Company doesn't even really kill a Land Fortress very effectively. And if you go into those targets, they're going to play their version of Armor of Contempt or Void Armor to make your AP -1. So suddenly, the spears are only getting 6 wounds. They pay their 1 CP stratagem, so they only got to save 6 times on 3 up. So at that point, statistically, the spears, if they pay their stratagem, are only going to do 4 damage to Land Fortress or a Land Raider, right? So at that point, if they do play the same stratagem against the swords, because the AP3, the 4 up, statistically you will actually basically do more damage. Statistically, on average, you would do 5 damage with the swords. So in conclusion here, there's almost no reason to run the spears. And that's before you factor in any additional strength bonus that might come from Red Thirst, and then any additional stratagem that we might have that give us lethal hits or lance. And if we have any stratagem that give us either of those two, the swords will once again be further in the lead because you're basically bypassing the main bonus that the spears have. So this is really useful information, and huge shout out to Matt Hatch, because I was thinking of doing this, and I will do it in more detail in the coming weeks. I do have like 3 more videos to film tonight, so this one is a little bit rushed because I need to film a tactics video for Friday. I need to film a video for Saturday, and I need to film the Crimson Lord video for Monday as well. So I got a lot to do at the moment, but this is super appreciated. Martin, thank you so much for saying that I could use your post on stream. You're a legend. If anyone sees this post on the Blood Angels Reddit, give it a thumb up. What a nice guy let me use this post. So the last thing to say in this video is this Blood Angels army set, box, whatever they're calling it, with the limited edition codex and the data cards and Astaroth and Lamartes and 10 assault intercessors and 10 jump intercessors and the Brutalis dreadnought are going on pre-order this Saturday. If you are interested in this box, it goes on sale in basically 3 days, and this is a new affiliate that I am now using in America. So if you're a US player, you can pick up Wargame Portal. They are selling the box, and I've spoken to them, and they say that they're going to have significant stock. So if you're struggling to get them, there'll be an affiliate link in this description that will take you over to Wargame Portal, and you can grab it there. And if they're in the UK, remember, please use the Element affiliate link as well. It does really help out the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If there are any other questions, or if there are any other Blood Angels releases, you can expect to see something coming out from me in the next few days. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment. And there's one last thing to say, and it's probably important, is last night I said that the Sanguinary Guard were going to be, what was it, 270 points for 6. A lot of people commented on that saying combat patrols are no longer balanced to 500 points. So based on that, the Sanguinary Guard that we're getting may be slightly cheaper. A lot of people said the average seems to be 420 points, which could put Sanguinary Guard as low as 40 points per model. Here's the thing, this is what's going to happen. They're going to come in, and if you think of like other units that have come out recently, like Meganobs that came out at 30 points per model, and they were 30 points per model for like a week, and then they got nerfed to 40 points per model. It doesn't really matter what value comes out in the codex. These guys will be balanced super quickly, I imagine, up or down from wherever they land. I think somewhere in the region of 40 to 45 is where they are going to land, but I guess we will see in the coming weeks. Thank you again for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. I'll see you down in the comment section. Catch you guys next time. Peace.